This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Wembley beckons. This weekend it's FA Cup quarter-final time. Honestly, I haven't been drinking. Can Leicester go one step further than we did last season? We had Chelsea at this stage last season, one of the first games back after lockdown, if you remember, although we'd probably rather not. Can we get revenge on Man United? They dumped us out the Champions League last year. I was going to say it didn't go too well for them, but they've got further than we have in the Europa. This is Leicester Till I Die, and it's the Opposition View.
You're watching and listening to the Opposition View show on Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums.
It is indeed, and we are playing, like I say, Manchester United, as if you need reminding, on Sunday, the 21st of March. It's at the KP. Does that make any difference these days? 5 o'clock kickoff. You can get it on BBC iPlayer, BBC One, lcfc.com if you want the radio and you don't like TalkSport, but it's on TalkSport, and of course BBC Radio Leicester if you are in Leicestershire. And of course, the best way to watch it, I would say, is stick on LCFC radio, listen to them, and watch me and Josh, because we're going to be doing a watch-along this Sunday. That could get interesting, couldn't it? Anyway, we're going to welcome in my guest this evening. He's waiting there patiently in the green room. Let's bring him in from Man United fan site, Rich Sports. It's, of course, Richard. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Chris.
How the devil are you?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
I'm not so bad, not so bad. Not as nervous as you are tonight.
Well, yeah, I think today's a big game as well, so it's probably 50-50, so a little bit nervous for that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously gone further than we have in the Europa League. That's why you're playing tonight, and thank you so much for coming on when you have got that game coming up in an hour's time. Well, 56 minutes, not that I'm sure you're counting. We're out of it. I mean, you're playing tonight, you're away, you're in Italy, and you're against AC Milan, so it's not like it's an easy game, although you probably don't get easy games at this stage. In a way, that's going to work in our favour, hasn't it? Because we've not got a match this week now.
No, I think that's definitely the case, because looking at the game, 1-1 in the first leg, worst case scenario is another 1-1 extra time, and obviously not so much time to prepare, fly back from Italy, and then got to play you guys on Sunday, which is obviously going to be a tough game. But yeah, it doesn't help us. But at this stage of the season, but you want to be in the cup competitions.
You do, indeed. And say good evening to the Dugout Football Channel. Thanks for joining us, mate. Hope you are well. It certainly, I mean, as I say, it certainly helped us a while ago was when we went out and we played our next game. We did very well. But you've you've not played away from home yet in the FA Cup. I mean, looking at your history there, although you played some tough games,
Yeah, we've not had the easiest of run-ins so far.
you haven't, in fairness. And you
it's not going to get any easier, is it?
Probably not. Probably not. I mean, you've got sort of you had an ex-Premier League team in there. Of course, you had Liverpool in there and West Ham. See, is this going to be the most difficult for you? Or I'm guessing you're going to say that was the Liverpool one.
I would say at the time I thought Liverpool. Obviously, they've gone on a bit of a maybe unexpected poor run for quite a few games now, and so before that, West Ham could have been a potential banana skin as well. Yes. I think Leicester as well. Obviously, we had that 2-2 draw view earlier in the season, and we're playing AC Milan tonight. Then I think probably it is going to be the toughest game because there'll be that sort of fatigue factor of playing a game tonight and then playing another game. So probably, I mean, we haven't been very lucky with the draw. We seem to get a Premier League team every round, which is a bit of a shame. So we have to pretty much put our first team out every game. So it's not getting easier.
As we keep being reminded, you are a top 6 side, so you should be able to handle all this.
We should be able to. I think we've got a good team, good squad. Maybe not as much depth as we like, but certainly a good team. Leicester maybe had a couple of injury worries recently, so we're having a good season as well. I mean, we're second and third, aren't we, at the moment? So
we are.
Good.
We were playing each other late on as well, so that could be interesting again. I mean, you say you've not your depth of squad, but from an outsider looking in, you're Man United. I think
we've got great players. Don't get me wrong, but we've got Cavani is our main striker, but he's not available for a lot of games. Pogba is probably one of our best midfielders. He's been out for about a month. We have missed him. We have got good players. I think maybe if we have to change a few of the main starters, if Bruno Fernandes got injured, we wouldn't be able to bring someone in as good. But that said, we should be looking at Leicester as a game that we'd be disappointed if we got knocked out, but we're not going to be thinking it's going to be an easy game. It's going to be a tough game. We have to play well to win. But certainly, we've had to play well to beat Liverpool or West Ham recently.
I mean, how do you think Ollie will approach the game? But first of all, tonight, knowing he's got, Leicester on Sunday, and then, will he? I mean, he's got to go surely, for a way. He can't draw unless it's 1-1. No, I think 1-1. It's got to be 2-2 or more, hasn't it? Yeah, so you've got to probably go for the win.
1-1 is extra time, and we don't want that. So, and we certainly don't want penalties. So I think we have to go quite attacking against AC Milan and just go for it and try and get a win. If we get 1-0 win, 2-0 maybe, then AC Milan with away goals would have to score 3. So I think we have to go for a more high-scoring game, and it would favour us if both teams score a couple of goals, we go through. And certainly we can't approach it like we have done in some of the Premier League games where they're maybe quite, what's the word? I don't want to say boring, but quite tight 0-0 games we've had against a lot of the top teams. So hopefully we go attacking. And I'm kind of thinking that Pogba's available, but I don't see him playing the whole game. I think he'll start against you on the weekend. I think maybe he'll play half an hour tonight. And maybe Amad Diallo, maybe he's another player that might play a bit tonight. And I think Cavani had a knock, so he's not available. So but there's a few players that could be coming back for Leicester. So we have got a few options.
I'm just looking here at your injury list. I mean, we've always joked in the past, these so-called big clubs, got injuries, and yet, they've got a better reserve team than we have a main team. But this year, we're all in that boat. At the start, we were going, oh, poor us, we've got all these injuries, and we've not had a good season at all with injuries. But then no club has, because of the short off-season.
Yeah, there's
all the games that are being played. Yeah, it's. I think there's been that's why I think so many are injuries. I mean, I'm just looking here at yours. It says Cavani I've got here as for 50% as possibly coming back. Hope not. Mata is ruled out. Martial is 25%. Pogba 75%. Phil Jones is ruled out, but you're probably not too disappointed about that, are
Yeah, I
you?
think he's been ruled out for a while.
And Danny De Beck, as I say, is the same as Paul Pogba. So you've got, if you rest those for the Europa League game, they might be available for the FA Cup game on Sunday. Or do you think, if they are fit? I mean, what does he do? What does he prioritise?
I don't think Cavani will be starting, because I don't think he travelled with the squad.
Okay.
I think Pogba might be one of these players that plays part of the game, and he hasn't played for a long time, so I don't see him playing 90 minutes anyway.
No.
Hi, Stefan. I'm good, thanks. I see him. There's a few players like Amad Diallo. He played half the game in the first leg, scored that great goal, and I definitely see him featuring tonight. I'm thinking we go attacking to start with, but knowing Solskjaer, we'll probably play a bit cautious for maybe the first half, and then maybe go attacking in the second half. So I'm expecting that there'll be a few goals, and whoever's not playing this game, like if Marshall's available on the weekend but doesn't play this game, I see him starting against Leicester, because we want to have a few fresh players. I think in defence, if we're playing Maguire and Lindelof in Europe, then there's a good chance that Mary Outby comes in with one of those defenders. So there's a few players we could freshen the team up a little bit. Tellez could come in for Shaw maybe, although I think Luke Shaw's a bit undroppable at the moment.
Yeah, I think he is, and he's in the England team again, isn't he?
So yeah, he's having a great season. He's one of the players talking about injuries, the player that has managed to avoid injury, that has had some bad issues over the years. So great that he's playing week in, week out. And I think he'll be an important player in both games.
I mean, hopefully he'll keep Ben Chilwell out of the England team. Not that there's anything bitter. Not that I'm not bitter at all. You understand? But no. So I mean, can he prioritise one? Or as a fan, what do you want? If you had to go through on one of them, and I know you want to go through on both, that goes without saying. Exactly. But if you had to prioritise one, which one would you go for?
We've talked about this, and some people have made different comments. I think in terms of a trophy for maybe for the players and for Solskjaer, if he won the Europa League, that would be a very good achievement, considering we've got AC Milan, Villarreal, Ajax, also Arsenal, Tottenham. Can't forget those. Yeah. If we got through this tie and actually went all the way to the final and won it, I think Solskjaer would be held in a much higher regard by possible opposition fans that like to criticise him quite a lot. And I think he's doing a decent job. We are second in the league, second only to Man City, that are sort of running away with it. So from that perspective, the Europa League would be a great trophy to win. But there is like this also, people made comments last night on my show that you don't want to see Man City doing the treble. So the FA Cup would be something that you want to win.
Yes.
And so for me personally, historically, I do like the FA Cup. And if it came down to beating Man City to win that trophy, or beating Villarreal, Ajax, or Rangers, or someone in the Europa League to win that trophy, I'd probably prefer the FA Cup. I think as a status for the manager and players, I think the Europa probably carries a bit more prestige.
And I don't want to sort of rub you up the wrong way or not, but of course Man City are on for the quadruple.
Exactly, that's kind of one of the reasons why I might be supporting Spurs in one game in the not too distant future.
Oh, I don't know if I can go that far. I know what you're saying, though. I do know what you're saying. I mean, our journey to the FA Cup this far. I mean, we've not had it as hard as you, but we've had Stoke, we've had Brentford, so we've had two lower league teams. We had Brighton in one of the most boring games I've seen. It's all my life.
There's 3 goals in it, so it couldn't have been as bad as some of the games.
You would be surprised. If you saw the highlights of the show, it'd be about a minute. We scored in the 94th minute, and that was only because I think Inacho said he was too cold because it was freezing to play an extra 30 minutes. But we've been away every week, so from our point of view, this is the strongest, the strongest game we've come on in the FA Cup this season. And you have got is it the sword of Damocles over us, if you like? I mean, since we've come back into the Premier League, we've only beaten you once. I mean, it was a really good game.
Win, wasn't it? It wasn't a bad
win.
I'm
not going to take that away, and I still do remind my Man United mates every time we play.
I remember Di Maria scored a fantastic goal in that game, and then for some reason we completely fell apart. I don't know what happened in that one.
That was, I must admit, I applauded that goal. That I was behind the goal, behind Schmeichel's goal, and that was amazing. It really, really was.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that win, we've only managed 4 draws, and the rest of the time you've beaten us. So you've got to feel confident.
I think Manchester United always have to feel quite confident, don't they? In terms of like a record against most clubs is quite good. Based on historical how we've been doing, but I think maybe like the big game was probably the end of last season, where it's sort of like a playoff for 4th place almost for the Champions League, and that was probably, it was quite stressful to start with, but that was probably the best result against you recently. I think in terms of playing home or away, we're actually unbeaten in the league away from home for over a year now, so we're actually quite a good away team.
Yeah.
Whereas at home, we've had issues.
We were, in fairness, if you said to me, would I prefer to play this game home or away, it would be away as well, because we have been a lot better away than we have at home. But sod's law, you know. But looking there, I mean, yeah, you beat it. I mean, we last year we lit up. That's the wrong thing. So we literally threw it away. You know, after COVID, we just never got our act together, and we went from a really, really strong position to it coming down to that last game. And I think Casper gifted you the second goal in that, which was probably a return favour for the fact that you scored 3 of the 4 goals in the 2-2 draw. If you give us one of If you could give us one of those tomorrow, that would be good. But it kind of, as Leicester fans, we kind of just knew how that was going to play out, and it is a bit of revenge for us. I mean, we look at this and we think, you know, we've got to get you back somehow, because, like I said, we've only won the once. When you look at Leicester, because you are, you know, Man United, and you know, it hurts me to say this, but you obviously are a big club. You're a worldwide club. What do you look at as Leicester? Do you look at us as, well, that's just Leicester, or has recently, since we won the league, has that changed your perspective on us?
I would say actually, in terms of like a lot of fans that are on my channel and watching videos and talking to people on my channel, that Leicester is quite highly regarded for a lot of Manchester United fans. They kind of respect what Leicester have done the last 5 years, because winning the league, obviously, an amazing achievement considering the resources Leicester has compared with the resources that Man City have, even Manchester United. I think maybe that was the year Tottenham kind of missed out. They had a good chance that season. Yeah, but winning the league,
they imploded just a little bit. Yeah.
I think that's a phenomenal achievement, and people rightly said, you know, massive respect to Leicester for that. I think what's maybe surprising is that when you lost Mahrez, you lost Kante, key players in that league-winning season. We did think Vardy might be going to Arsenal at the time, and I think it's a good job for. I think it's maybe better for his career that he has stayed at Leicester, because I think Leicester is like quite suited to how he's playing, and there's quite a lot of respect how you managed to rebuild and maybe not drop down. You haven't dropped down to mid-table. You stayed sort of like 5th, 6th, lowest position, I think you've been. You're a solid top 4 team this season. So I think Leicester are regarded highly, because you know you seem to be a lot better run than, say, other teams that are considered big 6 teams like Tottenham, Arsenal, and like Ndidi, a player that everyone I spoke to once in Man United. There's just you seem to great.
How's it going with Harry Maguire, by the way?
Actually, to be fair to Harry Maguire,
thanks for the 80 million.
If you
he's
take away
getting
the price
better
tag,
in fairness. He's improving, isn't he?
If you take away the price tag, he's actually having a decent season, and it's not that. There's been a couple of players that he plays quite well with pacier defenders like Eric Bailly, but that's why we've kind of had a consistent injury problem with Eric Bailly never been fit, Chernzebe never been available, and Luke Shaw as well. So that's 3 kind of people you wouldn't mind seeing in the back 4 a bit more, not getting games. So a bit fairness to him. I think with Henderson, him and Lindelof have a bit more confidence in, be able to push forward a bit. And they're not the paciest, but Henderson will come for crosses, and I think that has kind of helped them a bit. Yeah. So it's not bad. I think that 80 million was too much. I think you got a good deal there.
we know we did. Having said that, of course, we loved him when he was with us, you know. And as the song always goes,
it doesn't help.
It doesn't know. I'm going to say hello to Matt Jason, Anthony. My favourite win was the 5-3 against United. Everybody's favourite win, Anthony.
Why would it not be? Why would it not be?
Yeah. And I think it all went wrong after that, and we just couldn't win a game until the final 7. I remember when one of the goals went in. I'm not sure it was the 4th or 5th one. I ended up in the lady's lap next to me, so I have fond memories of that game in many ways. To say good evening to David Gamble. I'm not saying Leicester fans are bitter here, not at all. But Andy Medhurst, is Howard Webb still on the payroll?
I don't think not recently, based on some of the decisions we had. It's difficult, isn't it? I think that people talk about VAR, but it doesn't really seem to work fantastically for most teams, does it?
No, I mean it's one thing, we love it when it goes in our favour, and obviously, hey, I think for me, we've just gone literally from blaming the referee for everything. And let's face it, you lose because you play badly, and all the referee, you know.
Yeah, I think it's like little decisions. Sometimes it's a key decision. I've seen a couple of offside decisions where you look at what I don't know if you actually see the same pictures that they actually assess when they're looking at a VAR, because sometimes the image you see on the screen, it doesn't look offside at all, and no. I don't know about that. I think I was going to say, actually, I think Jamie Vardy's got quite a good penalty record, so.
Yes,
it's not working out too badly.
He got a few against your Blue Brothers, shall we say, in the start of the season. This is Ant. Good evening, Ant. How are you doing? Are you missing me down the ground? He used to sit behind me. I never quite ended up in his lap, but he sat behind me on the last season that we went. So, looking at sort of form at the moment, I mean, you know, it's pretty. We're up there, like you said earlier. You're second, we're third. Yeah, we never quite managed. You draw, we go and draw. We never quite managed to get that. But I mean, both of us. I mean, we've lost one. You haven't lost in the last 5, and obviously you had that really, really good win against Man City. But then you went and, you know, before that you drawn with Crystal Palace. That is like everybody's season, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's been. I was going to say, actually, I can't remember offhand some Leicester results, but didn't you have a very good win against Chelsea? I think I watched that match.
We did. I think that was Lampard's last game.
And then you followed up with there was a couple of results where I thought, I'm not sure how Leicester lost the game, or also I watched Everton lose at home to Newcastle. There's just some strange results. Like we lost to Sheffield United, you thrashed Sheffield United. We beat Man City and they're beating everybody, so it's hard to predict.
Well, we beat Man City 5-2 right at the start of the season.
Yeah, so
where did that come from? A few penalties in there, obviously, but and then we won't go and lose to Fulham, who were bottom of the league. It has been I think it's one of those seasons. Like the bookies must be raking it in.
It really is like hard. I mean, the best teams are at the top of the league. That's no doubt. But game on game, it can go either way. Some of the results have been really strange. Where you watch it, I think we've been quite lucky that when we've drawn, no one's taken advantage. So like you said, just you drew, Chelsea drew, and even last weekend, I think you got a very good win, but we managed to beat West Ham. So we kind of keep matching the teams. We keep staying ahead of Chelsea, which is I think they're the biggest threat to the top 4 at the moment.
I've got to be honest with you. I was so disappointed when you beat West Ham. I actually watched that game. I'm thinking like, come on, we wanted a draw, if I'm honest with you. And I couldn't believe how bad West Ham were. And I'm thinking like,
I don't know why they played that way either. I would say, as a Manchester United fan, I hope Leicester do finish in the top 4 at the expense of Chelsea and West Ham, because I think that you've been a consistently decent team. I'd quite like to see Chelsea finish out of that.
I mean, Chelsea have done well since Lampard's gone. They've turned it round, but you do wonder if that's, like we've always said, the new manager bounce, and how long will that go on for? Of course, they're in Europe as well, so that's dragging them out.
I think 2 wins against Atletico Madrid were quite impressive, and so overall, I think their record has been good, and a bit more than a bit more than a little bounce. I think he's actually got the team playing a lot better.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of thinking that I kind of look at their results each week and hope they don't catch up, because I think that they're the biggest threat to going to run. But like you said, the Champions League is a big distraction, and
Yes.
they're going to have some issues with if they get to the latter stages of that competition and also trying to get into the top four, because the Premier League's quite, like you said, it's quite a tough league at the moment.
Yeah. And funny thing is, Brookline then, and I'm not being stereotypical here at all. Brookline's from America, and I just do find it a little bit funny, Brookline saying beefy teams like Man United and Everton. And not that I'm stereotyping any Americans as being beefy at all. Love you, Brookline. Thanks for joining us. You know we love to have you on. Andy, we asked this question earlier. Do you want Champions League or FA Cup? That was a sort of, depending who they're playing in both of them, they'd like to deny Man City both.
Yeah, do you think that maybe last season we were kind of desperate to get in the top four because we were quite a long way off? This time, we've got a little bit of leeway in the league. So if we lose a game, it's not the end of the world in the league. We've got a bit of a buffer. So I think we've got to go all out for the cup games. It's going to be like two quite tough games, but we've got to go for it because we haven't won a trophy for a few years, and like I said, it's something we want to win.
Of course. I mean, I'm just looking at the table here. I mean, we're always as Leicester fans, and after what happened last season, when we had probably a bigger gap than we've got now, when it managed to dwindle away, and we've got you and a couple of other top teams, Spurs, and well, not the Spurs are a top team at the moment, but and another top six team allegedly our last three games of the season. But I mean, you're a point ahead of us, played the same number of games now. It's Chelsea, West Ham are on 48. They're having a really good season, but you would think that the top four, we've got to accept probably Man City have got it. It looks like second, third, and fourth is just going to be a case of numbers, us or Chelsea.
No, I would think so, and I think it's different. I think we've got enough to stay there now, but I think last season we were probably, when the season restarted, we were about 10 points behind most of the teams. So the fact we managed to pull that back, I think does give us hope. I mean, the Europa League's quite a long competition, so there's going to be quite a few games.
Yeah.
But if you talk about Manchester being physical, I don't know if we're like really that sort of team.
No. I think you're just saying you're beefy, not necessarily physical. But Brookline, fair play to you, mate. We're just fat over there. I'm saying nothing, which is why I always video myself from there upwards, because you just can't see my moves. My stomach's under the table. Quick question here from Andy Meadows. You've had some great players at United, but who is your favourite?
Just like historical favourites, or
I think
current
so.
favourites.
I think historical.
I think historical. My favourite player was probably Cantona.
I had a feeling you might say that.
But also, I think it's because we started winning things. He seemed to be the catalyst for all that. And before that, maybe Mark Hughes was a favourite, Giggs, Scholes, but basically that team of '99 as well. You could pick anyone out of that team. Probably Beckham's like a favourite.
But you know, as you say, you're never going to win anything with kids, are you?
No, unless they're very good.
Do you? I want to ask you this really as a Man United fan, because I honestly think that teams have success in periods of time. So like Liverpool were very much sort of the 80s and 70s when they ruled the roost, if you like. Ferguson came along and you've had all those years of success and you were the best team out there. There's no denying it. You know, look at the trophies. Are Man United finally accepting that it's not necessarily the manager that's, and you could say you have had some bad managers, but it's just the fact that, you know, Ferguson got out when he did because he knew, I think he knew the team was on its way down, and it just isn't your time at the moment. And just because you've been winning for so long, it's not going to go on and on and on forever. Do you think with a couple of clubs do have quite a lot of money makes it maybe there's more competition at the top? I would say that Man City weren't a force 20 years ago or 10 years ago, really. And Chelsea as well. Maybe there is more competition, but it's tricky. I think when you're trying to build a team, we've gone the way of youth at the moment. We've got a lot of young players coming through.
and it's kind of maybe trying to get the balance of some experienced players. But obviously, I think it did help at Manchester United that we had a very good core of experienced players. When, like you said, the class that came through with Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, we had a lot of experience with Palace, De Bruce. We had a very good balance in the squad. Schmeichel's a world-class goalkeeper. Your goalkeeper's dad, actually. So I think that with that sort of basic, we're kind of getting there a bit. We haven't maybe got the defence as good as we like, and maybe haven't got quite... we used to have like 4 amazing forwards, didn't we? We used to have... when we won the Champions League and the treble, we had Teddy Sheringham, York, Cole, Solskjaer, and now we kind of got Cavani, who's injured quite a bit, and we're looking at wingers that we maybe can try and play as strikers.
Dwight York as well, because of course he had a great partnership with Andy Cole.
So it's about getting there, and I think it's going to be difficult because maybe the bar's been raised that Man City have got a very good team, so we're trying to catch up with them really at the moment.
Richard, I'm conscious of the time for you because I don't want you to miss any of the build-up for your game. So two very quick questions. First of all, I'm going for a 2. I'm going to start. I'll go 2-1 every week. I've got to be honest with you, so I'm going to stick with that. And then 2-1 to Leicester. What are you going to predict?
So I'm going to predict Manchester United win. Obviously, that's just the way I'd go. I'm going to say that it sounds boring. I was probably going to go 2-1 because I think that Leicester would get a goal, and I think the 2-2 we had with you recently, we'll have a game similar to that maybe, but we'll just hold on a bit better, and we'll close the game out this time and take it 2-1. So that's
and I will let you go with this last question, and I promise it will be the last one because I want there seems to be, shall we say, a lot of hate for Ollie. Nobody since Fergie has been good enough for you. You have had some. Van Gaal came and he was, I think a World Cup winner, wasn't he, as a manager? He's certainly got the experience.
They certainly had pedigree, didn't they? They certainly won a lot and achieved a lot of clubs.
Yeah. I mean, Moyes, I think, when he wasn't given a chance, but then, all clubs, we've all been there with managers that we haven't given a chance. Ollie came in, and I love Ollie. I'm not going to lie to you. I think, he speaks the truth. I liked him as a player. I even cheered you on when you got that goal in the cup, European Cup final. Took a lot of criticism early on, but last year you were 4th. This year you were 2nd at the moment. You can't, he's not doing that bad, is he?
I think it's that, it's there's progress. It's kind of difficult to measure, isn't it? And I think maybe that's why a trophy would help a lot, because then it would show that there is success. That's what people are doubting at the moment, that will he actually win something? And no one expected us to win the league this season. And 2nd is probably hard. I thought we'd finish 3rd, so I didn't think we'd catch Liverpool or Man City. So if we finish 2nd and got a trophy, I think it's a successful year.
Sorry, I hurt my neck then just looking down the table for Liverpool. But yeah, they're up to
someone near Arsenal, I think. If you can find them, they're down there somewhere.
It's a shame for Liverpool, though, isn't it? Let's be honest with you. Look, hey, I'm going to say it, and I know I'm going to take some stick from the Leicester fans for saying this, but good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
And it's always nice to see English teams doing well when we're not in it. So good luck, mate. I hope you go far. I hope it does go to extra time, and I hope it goes to penalties for the stress. just from a personal point of view. But I'll be watching. I'll be watching. Good luck, mate. Enjoy it, and we'll. I won't say good luck for Sunday because that I definitely won't mean.
Yeah, so all the best apart from that day. Good luck after that weekend.
Thanks for coming on, mate. You go and get ready and watch the game. Take care. Stay safe.
Okay, bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. My thanks to Rich there from Rich Sports, which is on Twitter. He is on Twitter, and I shall give you his Twitter handle at richsports7, and you can click there and you can find his YouTube channel as well, and it's a great watch. Actually, he doesn't do all Man United. He does a lot of general football chat. I often pop in and have a look at him and watch the shows. And Brad, obviously from Leicester Till I Die, he's on there as a guest quite a bit. He's one of the regulars on there. His YouTube channel is Rich Sport. So at Rich Sport 7 on Instagram and just Rich Sports on YouTube. Whew. Are we nervous? Are we really nervous about About Sunday? I kind of am. They have got the sword of Damocles over us. But we're on the back of a 5-0 win. We're going to be in with confidence. We haven't played all week, so we've got it out. We're going to hopefully have rested players. Looks like some of the injured players might be sort of tiptoeing their way back into the team, so fingers crossed. Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to catch up and watch it again, or you've missed some of the show, it's Leicester Till I Die TV. We are trying to get to 500 likes by the end of the season. So please, if you haven't subscribed, give us a subscribe, and we would be loving you forever. It really would. And if you want to listen to us on podcast and listen to this on podcast while you're doing the washing up for the wife, feel free to. You can get us. It's Leicester Till I Die, and we are on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. Or just ask Alexa, play Leicester Till I Die podcast, and it will find it for you. I've just set my Alexa off there. Alexa, shut up. Turn off. Honestly, worse than my wife. So we will be back tomorrow night at 7. We will be back with my chat chum Craig, and he will Rich just said cheers, guys. Thanks, Rich. It was great to have you on. We'll be back tomorrow night with my chat chum Craig on the preview show, when we'll be looking at the cup tie, the quarter-final, and hoping we can make it one step further this year. You can taste Wembley, can't you? I can. We're one game away, and we'll be there. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe. See you tomorrow night at 7 for the preview show. Good night.
Hello,
now.
Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.